Today I'm in the kitchen making easy artisan French baguettes. This is a classic bread loaf for its taste and texture. The recipe will make this perfect, crisp, crunchy crust and that soft, pillowy inside. I'm Rebecca and welcome to the kitchen. This is how I make baguettes. I'm starting off by adding 1.5 cups of warm water to the bowl of my stand mixer, or if you're making these by hand, use a large bowl. Sprinkle over top 2¼ teaspoons of dry active yeast, or 1 packet. I wait until the yeast is softened by the water, and then I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of salt and 4 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm going to mix this with the dough hook for about 5 minutes, or until I have a nice smooth dough ball that cleans the sides of the bowl. If you're kneading it by hand, knead the dough for about 8 minutes. If your dough is still loose, add some more flour a little at a time until you have a smooth, elastic dough ball. Cover the bowl and allow the dough to rise in a warm place until it has doubled in size, which should take about 1 hour. Now that the dough has risen, I'm going to tip it out onto a lightly floured counter and split it into 3 for small baguettes or 2 for long baguettes. I'm going to pre-shape my dough into a bit of a log shape. To do this, I spread my dough out and fold it into thirds. Then, going in the opposite direction, I roll the dough up into a small log and press it into the dough as I go to create tension in the loaf. I'm going to let the dough rest 15 minutes before shaping it into the long baguette shape. This time will allow the gluten to relax and will make the final shaping much easier. To make the final baguette shape, I'm going to roll the dough between my hands and the counter, gently pressing out to encourage the dough to form into the long baguette shape. If you want, you can shape the ends into points, or you can leave them rounded. After the dough is shaped, I'm going to make a couche. A couche is normally a flour-dusted linen used for the final rise of the baguette dough. It helps keep the dough in its proper shape. These can be purchased if you find that you make baguettes often. Since I don't really want to add to my kitchen supply collection, I'm going to make some with some silicone mats. On a baking sheet, I'm going to form my silicone mats around my bread loaves to keep them separated and to encourage them to stay in their proper shape as they rise. If you don't have silicone mats, you can do the same with parchment paper and form long cylinders with aluminum foil to help them keep their shape. If not, the baguettes will rise and spread outwards, and you will end up with wide, flatter bread loaves. Allow these to rise in a warm spot until doubled, which is about an hour. Meanwhile, I'm going to preheat the oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to place an oven-proof tin or pan on the floor of the oven to preheat as well. Just before the loaves go into the oven, I'm going to cut some slashes on top. Pour about 1 cup of water into the preheated pan on the floor of the oven to create some steam, and shut them all inside the oven. Bake for 15 minutes, then reduce the temperature down to 350 Fahrenheit for another 25 minutes, or until the loaves are golden and sound hollow when tapped. While the loaves are in the oven, I'm going to prepare a small bowl with a 1/4 cup of water and 1 teaspoon of salt. As soon as you remove the loaves from the oven, brush the tops with the salt-water mixture. Not too much to saturate the bread, but just enough to give the crust a slight salty taste. Since the bread loaves are still hot from being in the oven, the water will quickly evaporate and will just leave the salty taste. Allow them to cool by standing the loaves up vertically. That way the air can cool them from all sides and the bread will be nice and crisp on the outside. Slice and serve alongside your favorite meal, or my favorite way to enjoy baguettes, slice fresh and serve with butter. Enjoy!